You're going to have to get used to this talking head view for the foreseeable future. Stick around after the jump and let me tell you why. Yeah, start getting used to this frame here. Like right up in here, over there, down to there, and right around here, because yes, I'm Grant Tommy, this is Straight SixFan, your home for offbeat hot rodding. We're between projects, right? Lori G Pre, it's more or less wrapped up, it's up for sale, and so I don't have a new project car yet, but this backdrop is going to become a new podcasting backdrop, because yes, it's time to get the band back together, me and old car guy here on YouTube. We're going to fire up, we're going to introduce a new podcast. For those who've been following this channel for a long time, you may remember a series we called the CarrGuy and SixFan Show. Well, actually, we'll be introducing a third member to our team, Everything's Broken Garage here on YouTube. So again, go check out his channel if you don't know anything about Ryan, but he'll be joining our staff as a producer, and then we're going to take this team and we're going to latch on to the Get Out and Drive podcast, and we'll be a subsidiary of theirs, or a sister program to the mothership. We got to start prepping the garage to be the new podcasting backdrop, and this is where I'll set my camera, this exact camera, and frame about this view in. So we want something interesting behind me for this upcoming show, and as time rolls on, we will reveal more and more details about the show. But first things first, I'm actually an architect by trade. Normally I would have a plan for all this, but I don't. I really don't. But step number one for turning this into a podcast backdrop is we gotta kind of organize all the junk over here and figure out what maybe can we live without. Well, as you can see in the time lapse, I simply just displaced all of the junk from this wall, the inside corner to out here. And honestly, usually I'm pretty good about, aside from my weed eater box and this 2x4, when I go through stuff, being pretty real with like, hey, I can live without this. Now, I will go through this shelf in more detail, and I think I'm going to purge some stuff from this shelf at least. But yeah, I pretty much almost need everything. And well, the other kind of asterisk there is I plan on building something out of this pile of wood for this inside corner. Probably like some sort of a vertical cabinet of some sort. Cabinet, or open it like this, like not with doors or anything, but so I can store miscellaneous wood like in slots. But this is basically kind of that vertical line, that cutoff of where I need to build something to store for storage that direction, and then this will be the backdrop. There was a horizontal tape there for a bit, but I didn't like to stick to the wall, and I'm going to build like a floating shelf that comes over, stops right. My welder still has to live here, and then so that way the accent wall will be everything like above that line. So this shelf will probably tuck underneath the floating shelf, and then all the accent wall will be up in there. So anyway, I don't have a table saw or anything, which kind of sucks because I'd love to rip down some of this to create that cabinet, but I do have a skill saw, so we'll get creative. And ultimately, after the first week's attempt, it was evident I didn't have enough of the accessories I really needed to make progress. So weekend number 2 started with the purchase of a stool from Northern Tool and a reclaimed 4x6 timber. Alright, well, with my stool assembled, I've got my welding table up, so that'll hold the laptop that I'm going to use for the live streams. I'll have my Canon set up, and we're going to try to live stream straight from that. But yeah, this gives me a good feel for, I think this is going to work. I've kind of got it cropped in the way I want. Well, actually, I might do a little bit more zoomed in like that, to where we just barely capture my shelf. So yeah, that the argon bottle, like I wanted, is going to be the far end. Now there's going to be like a vertical piece that goes up here, so it'll feel like the argon bottle isn't part of this scene. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll mirror what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is, I've got a ton of license plates, and I think if the math works out just about right, that gap is close to like a foot, which is what the license plates are. So we'll do a column of license plates up there, and then I was originally going to put like a vertical, just kind of like bookend piece that goes up that way, but now I'm kind of just thinking leave it open, just let the shelf be the shelf, let the argon bottle be sort of that last bit. As part of my backdrop, you can see, of course, my wood stockpile. There we go. Boy, this is harder than it looks for some reason. Anyway, wood over there, and I don't seem to mind that. And then, yeah, like I said, we could always come in, zoom in like that, and I think that feels pretty nice. And of course, the closer I get to the camera, more it blurs the background. But yeah, I think we'll be probably something right here or here, hanging out with you guys for some podcasts. The next step was to mock up the 4x6 timber, get it in position where we really wanted it to live, level it, fight the slope of the garage floor, reposition it, and reposition it some more. But this set us up to pull it back off the wall, snap a string line, and cut a 45-degree relief cut in both directions in order that we could drill and countersink 3.5-inch wood screws into the wall and conceal those fasteners to make it appear as though it's a floating shelf. Of course, hitting the studs beyond. We did add some sheetrock screws on the top for added security. Alright, so there's going to have to be a third weekend involved, but let me bring you up to speed on what we wrapped in the second. So this is an opportunity for you, the viewer, to be part of the podcast backdrop. As you can see, we decided to start stacking license plates, and we're going to do that on both sides of the shelf, both sides of the beam. And right now I just used what I had, but I've got room for, I want to say there's maybe the opportunity for 14 more. I already had 2 of the viewers reach out and want to contribute, so best way to do that is either direct message me on Instagram, or, and I did a YouTube short about this, or you can go to my About page here on YouTube, find my email address, and reach out to me if you want to send me a license plate. Now, the only thing I ask you to do, if you're going to do that, is I want you to customize it. So hold on a second, let's get in close. So long ago, Rusty Glovebox here on YouTube sent me this Texas plate, and look, he just signed his name, put his YouTube channel on here in permanent marker. So it could be as simple as that, or if you want to get crazy, if you want to be artistic, if you want to like pinstripe it, you want to like just add art, by all means, you pick, but I want you to personalize it. And then lastly, we do have picked out what we're going to wrap up the backdrop wall with, but I guess you're going to have to tune into the next episode. I will unveil what is behind the cloth. We'll put a little teaser there. You can kind of see my batten strips. But that's where we're heading with this project. Get excited. We, Old Car Guy and myself, it's going to be probably October 1st when our first episode launches for this new podcast endeavor. So I gotta keep getting back to work, keep going on this, keep plugging away. Hey, if you enjoyed this, I know this is a little different than my normal content, but if you enjoy hanging out with me as a channel, the best way you can help out is honestly just go find something else here on my channel that interests you and go watch double what you've watched. Go watch something else in addition to what you just watched here on this setting. So, But hey, I just wanted to say to all my Six fans out there, thanks for watching.